So one of the skills that we're going to be learning about in the upcoming in the upcoming sprint, and which is also related to one of those tasks for the current assignment, is installing a React app Hello World application, right? And I believe I've asked you to follow along the steps that are shown here that we're going to be using next week, starting Friday. We're going to start using this. So the previous assignment, you were asked to create this, so let's follow along since we're going to need this on Friday. Let's see. Let's go to section 2. And that's the application we built for the middle tier. And so we can do a create React app. So you should have done this already, right? That this creates the this downloads and installs a command line interface that allows you to create out of the box simple React applications. So you should have installed that, and then created your first application. So I'm going to call it CS 4500 SP19 section 2. This will be a client application, and it'll be a React application, as opposed to maybe some other framework, might be Ember or Angular or whatnot. So while that's happening, let me just give you a little bit of context of what the tool is. Let's see, first to show hands, who is already perhaps familiar with React? Right, so like maybe 2/3. So really quick. So React is a JavaScript library that allows us to implement component-based single-page applications. Right, single-page applications meaning that we're going to be doing all of our rendering dynamically on the client. Right, with some data that we're going to be fetching from the server. We're going to be using the server mostly as a data source. Right, that's why for the last couple weeks we've been creating RESTful services that expose this data model, so that we can go fetch we can go fetch users, we can go fetch services, we can go fetch all sorts of pieces of data. Right, so we're going to be using going forward, creating applications that use Ajax to go fetch that data and then dynamically render the user interface for us. Yes? As opposed to previous technologies that rendered the content on the server, right? Such as Python or PHP or JSPs or ASPs, or all these are server-side solutions that we're not going to be considering, right? So all client-side. Anyway, so you were asked to create that application, then go into the application, you can run it. So you can say npm start. That will run this locally, unless I have something already running locally. No? Okay. And this is the boilerplate application that you get when you use the create React app application. And this is what you were asked to deploy into Heroku, right? Following, I think you have instructions here how to do that. Maybe not. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, here we go. So you were asked to deploy this on Heroku. So Heroku create, what we'll do is that it will fail. What? Oh, it worked. There it is. So it created an application, and it comes up with some funny name for the application, some random funny name. It deployed it there. There it is, Frozen Lake Heroku app.com, and we can then push. Let's see. Yeah, we should be able to push it. Okay, we don't have a repository. Git. Do we have a Git? No, we don't. All right, so we'll do a Git init. Maybe I should add that to my. Oh, we do. Git init. There we go. So I do have everything. Git add, and then commit. And then push. Oops. I think because I skipped the repository. Can I create it again? There we go. All right. So what this is going to do is it's going to parse the directory, and it's going to realize that this is a Node.js application, right? It's a React hosted on a Node.js server, and it's going to install Node.js for us on a virtual machine remotely on Heroku. It's going to download and install all the libraries that it needs in that remote machine, and create the environment for us. We can then just do a Heroku open, and it will open up the application running remotely. What I don't have here is being able to rename. Don't I show here how to rename the application? Uh-oh. Let's see, Heroku rename app. There it is. If you use the command Heroku apps :rename and then the new name, I had suggested to use the same name as the application that you created locally. Now that name might be too long. Right? It might be too long for your particular organization name. So I suggest maybe shortcutting it a little bit. So for instance, right now it's deployed. We can do Heroku open, and it'll open up that domain with that funny name. See that? Intensive River 7261, right? So that's a funny name. It's the same application that I have running locally, but with that funny name in that domain. So what we suggest is renaming it to something more that might make a little more sense. So I'm going to change it to CS 4500 Spring 19 section 2, and let's see, can I say React? I'll just say React and JGA. Let me see if it lets me put my initials. It did. Okay, so it was able to do that, right? So I can do Heroku open again. So notice that my name now is CS4500, and this is what we're asking you to submit as a deliverable for this assignment, okay? So that the TAs can come and just make sure that you have this all set up. And this is for one organization. So one of you is going to have to do this. Right? It's going to be the same one for everybody. You don't all have to do this. This is an organization task, organization level task. What we are asking you to do is to make sure that everybody has been invited to the Heroku project. All right? Make sure that you can clone down everything to your local machine. Since each of you is going to should be able to recompile, build, and deploy from your local machine. Your particular teams, you're all going to be working on different aspects of the user interface, so you all have to be able to manipulate this environment. So make sure that you're all invited through your Heroku application. Everybody okay? All right.